Hello, welcome to this demo of B1 Usability Package. During this demo, you will learn how to maximize your business benefits. B1 Usability Package is a product created by the company Boyum It. Boyum It it's all about customizing and adding business logic. The idea of our add-ons is to get your ERP system to work in perfect harmony with your business goals, and this is the key to create greater revenue. Boyum It now has more than 3,300 customers worldwide and it's installed in more than 70 countries. Today, our daily users are up to 55,000 worldwide. Boyum It has different products in the portfolio. The first one that we're going to see today is the Boyum Pack. And in the Boyum Pack, we're going to see the core of this system that it's called B1 Usability Package. During these years of constantly programming of this add-on, we created 5 additional models, such as B1 Time Task, B1 MailChimp, B1 Document Manager, B1 Print and Delivery, and B1 Budget. But we are going to focus today only on B1 Usability Package. We also have 2 different add-ons. The CRM for Outlook, which is an integration between Microsoft Outlook and SAP Business One. And also we have B1i Payment, which is an integration with credit cards. This add-on will allow you to settle your invoices and create automatically the incoming payments within SAP Business One. But let's focus on the B1 Usability Package. What can you do with this add-on? Well, by a start, you can create new navigation. You can create buttons. You can create golden arrows. Even when you don't have a button or an arrow, you can create a shortcut with a double click to extend the information and obtain different reports or simply access to new windows. With this, we are redesigning the screens. Normally, a lot of customers tell us that SAP Business One already up to versions 9.2, they can modify their screen. But believe me, we have been modifying the screen since 10 years ago. So imagine the advance and the improvements that we have in these different models. One of the main reasons why our customers purchase B1 Usability Package is because we can ensure data quality. We can create simple validations such as double clicks, mandatory fields, or advanced validations that, for example, you have to input certain valid value in a field in order to create a sales order. This would make all the information to be available and obtain reports that are guaranteed. We can also automate tasks. If you feel that you do a lot of steps to create a document, that you do a lot of double clicks, or maybe a lot of copy paste, or maybe you can create this process in SAP but involves a lot of time, well, we can create something called macros. These macros will allow you to create different information and of course save time and money. And of course, with the correct information, with the automated task, with all the improvements for the end users, you as an administration, as an administrator, you will also have dashboards. And not only dashboards, also reports. But let's start with the first area or the first part of this demonstration. Let's talk about first the screen redesign. We have a designer tool. We can move and hide fields. We can add user-defined fields into the main screen. We can change the color of the specific fields or specific labels. We can create custom golden arrow and of course create valid values. We can also create new tabs, and these tabs can contain user-defined fields, also SAP Business One fields that we move into this new tab, or even a report. We can change the main menu and of course edit additional information in your screen. But let's start with this demonstration. I have a demo database over here. As you can see, I changed the main menu. I changed the name for customers and suppliers instead of business partners. I added a new menu with new shortcuts to user-defined tables, to reports, to a different functionality that I prefer to have right over here according to my needs. But let's start and open a sales order. This order suffered different modifications. As you can see, there are different buttons, there are colors. I had some fields and changed the design of this label. I changed the buttons. I changed the logic, for example, of the total that is left justified instead of right. I I disable the sales employee field so it can be modified by the users, and I hide the picker so they can select it manually. I hide the attachments tab because there is no need to have it in this module, at least for this example. And I added a new tab called shipping details with the driver to truck and the document that previously was under the delivery date. I'm going to select a customer, and I'm going to show you as well the business partner master data screen that it's called again customers and suppliers. As you can see, there are golden arrows that are new. There are different colors, labels, fields change, new tabs where you can change information. You can change the way you display the user-defined fields. And of course, you can also add a new tab as a sales report. And as you can see, while you drive between the different customers, the information will be refreshed automatically, and you will also have easy access to the different type of documents created. For example, I opened just now an invoice, but I want to open again a credit memo that was created for this business partner. Let's talk about the easy access. We can create shortcut buttons. These buttons can open different windows, external applications, reports, execute macros, which are the automatization process, or we can also edit the right-click menu or search information in a very fast way. Here in the sales order, I'm going to select a customer, and I'm going to show you a few buttons that I have right over here. Before I create this sales order, maybe I want to open the website of this customer. Just by one click, the system is going to search for the address, and it's going to open your web explorer to open the website. Maybe before I create this sales order, I also want to verify information about this customer, and I want to execute a report that was created with Crystal reports. You can also create the access to these reports and open with custom information and also take in the values you have in your screen. In this case, I selected this customer Maxitech, and I'm going to see only information of Maxitech without minimizing the screen and jumping into the main menu. I can just execute the report right over here. I can also execute a report so I can see the latest purchase from this customer. I can come here, edit the report, change the quantity, and add this information into the main screen. So I don't need to open the entire catalog to search for the printer that normally this customer purchased into my company. I also created a shortcut right over here. Normally, if I click on the golden arrow, I will open the item master data window. But if I double click, I will execute a report created by me using SQL, where I will see all the different purchases that this customer made with the quantity and special price this customer for this specific item where I double click in the grid. If I select another line, I will see the refresh information according to the line that I double click. I also created a few shortcuts here in the customers and suppliers model. I can open different documents, for example, SAP windows, such as quotation, sales order, delivery, or invoice. I can create it in a different button. For example, if I want to open the contracts model, I can also execute a sales chart if I want to analyze the information. If I don't want to see the report over here that I have in my tab, I can call by Skype to this customer that is taking the telephone number that I have here in the general tab, so I can even execute external application. I can create shortcuts to different reports that are default in SAP Business One, but I don't have to minimize the screen and execute the report and select the BP code that I already have in my screen. The add-on is going to copy this information for me. And also, I can open even dashboards. Not only SQL queries, not only graphics report, also analytics reports that allow me to see how are the activities, how are the sales, but from the customer that I have in my screen. And remember, we can also modify the right-click menu, so I can create different shortcuts in the case I don't want to add different buttons here. Let's talk about automation. We can create default data entries. Imagine you also, all the time, or most of the time, you sell all your items by piece. And this is the unit of measure. And you have to input this in the purchase or unit of measure, also in the sales field unit of measure, and inventory unit of measure. But what can you do here is that you can predefine this information. So when you create the item, B1UP is going to fill out these fields for you. And of course, you can modify it if this is an exception. And for example, this item is a service. You can also create templates. Imagine you can define default values because you have three different type of items or three different type of business partners. Well, you can create three different templates and select the correct one that you're going to need. And of course, for example, if you have the government, you have the VIP customer, or you have the I don't know, gold doll customer, well, you can select this configuration, this template. The system is going to fill out all the fields that are involved in the template, and the user is going to focus only in the fields that they think that are specific information of this customer. So this is going to save a lot of time. We can also create macros. So imagine you have a process that takes a lot of steps. For example, here in the sales order, I'm going to open a sales order already created. I have right over here a sales order with 5 items. Imagine that I want to create a transfer request for this document. Yes, you can do a right click and create a transfer request using the Business One functionality, but maybe I just want to copy a certain category of items or the items that belongs to certain warehouse, or maybe I want to skip all the services items that I have here included in the scenario, in the quotation, or in the sales order in this case. So I created a button with this configuration, with this kind of validations. It's going to copy the items that I want, that I predefined. So the system is going to open the document, copy the customer, select the warehouses, and copy all the items and quantities. The explanation, I think, took even longer than the process itself. So I'm going to open the inventory transfer request, and as you can see, this document was created with comments, with quantities, items, warehouse, and the customer. And if we want, we can add the sales order number to this field and add a golden arrow, and we can also include this in the macro, so the system can copy this information for you. Another example of a macro, I have it right over here in the delivery. Imagine you handle batch numbers. I'm going to add a few items. And imagine you always select the batch numbers according to the expiry date. So normally what you have to do manually, it's open the batch number selection window, open by expiration date, and click on auto select and then on OK to assign it. Maybe I have only 4 items in my window, but imagine this is a process that a customer has to execute for 70 lines that they have in a delivery. Well, I added right over here a button that has this macro, that has these instructions. So once that I click it, the system is doing all these steps for me. And if I have an item that doesn't have a batch number, it doesn't matter. The macro also have a validation to skip this item and continue with the next line. We also have EDI type of functionality. This is a solution that allows you to import or export information between SAP Business One. It can be exchanged between different products, different servers, maybe different companies, or even different softwares or different ERPs. Imagine you have to sell all the purchase orders to your supplier in an XML file so they can import it in their ERP system. Well, you can create your own button and export this information in an XML file so they can import it. Or maybe your customers send you your sales orders again by a file, so you can use this solution to import these documents automatically. We can create alerts and validations. These validations can be only visual and color messages, only like a warning. We can create new rules or mandatory fields. Let me show you a few examples. Let's continue with the sales order. I'm going to select a customer, and at the moment I select it, if they don't have enough credit limit, this stop sign is going to appear. Of course, I put it right over here really small up to the customers tab, but you can move it like a larger image, or you can add some comments. Here in the quotation, when I select a business partner, I'm going to see the credit available. As you can see, these business partners don't have enough credit limit, so I'm not going to waste my time creating this quotation with a discount maybe. And this can also be done just with colors. I'm going to jump between business partners, and as you can see, the account balance change. This is because if the business partners don't have enough credit limit, it's going to change the account balance field as red, and if they do, it's going to switch to green. In this case, I'm going to input a customer reference number, and as you can see, I get an error message. This is because this reference was already used by this business partner with this business partner in a sales order. So the system has a block. It's blocking me, and it's preventing the user to continue inputting the information until they input a valid customer reference number that is not repeated. And as you can see, some fields are in a different color. This is because these fields are mandatory. All that I did is to do a right click, select make this field mandatory. The system is going to collect the information. It's going to open a new window. And all I have to do is to select the color of maybe the background of the text. With these colors, the users can be proactive. At the moment they open the window, they will know the fields that they have to input because are mandatory. They don't have to wait until they click on add to get the different, in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different error messages saying that information is missing. Another type of validation that you can execute can be at line level. In this case, I'm going to add a few items, and I'm going to try to create this document. Another kind of validation that you can create is on line level. I'm going to try to create, in this case, an AR invoice. And I'm going to add different discounts to this document. At the moment I try to create this document, as you can see, I added a very high discount at line level. So the system is telling me that these items have an incorrect discount. In this case, in the line number 2, this is the item code, and in the line and item 3, the line number 3, this is the item code. So I can come here, fix the discounts, and now the system let me create the document. This is going to prevent a lot of error message. And imagine you can add all the kind of different conditions to these validations. They can be also added to user-defined fields to conditions according if the document or the business partner belongs to a certain category, or if they have a property mark, or maybe because of the only it's going to apply for certain items group. And now let's talk about the toolbox. The toolbox are more than 40 benefits or improvements that you can enable or disable at will with B1 Usability Package. If you open a Business One window, you will see that in all the document marketings, there's a little flag. This flag is taken from the country of the default billing address. This is a functionality that I enable using the toolbox. Also, if I open the sales order, you will see these question icons. This is because I'm using the help information. I can come here. I'm going to edit the information. I'm going to save the changes. And the next time I click on this window, it's going to show me the help. This will help a lot of the users, especially the new ones, with the learning, with the training curve that they normally have with new systems, especially because the business one help, for example, is very general. And in this case, they only need to click this icon and see what kind of reference it's going to be inputted in here according to their business. Maybe I have to start with OZ and the number of the purchase order, or maybe the initials of the company and another sequential number. But this is information that is very specific, and of course you can add these icons in different kind of fields so you can get the correct information. We also have administrative tools. Normally, when you have a sales employee that leaves the company, this sales employee has open documents or is assigned to different business partners. In this case, you will have to change manually this information in your database according to the new sales employee that is going to be in charge of the customer. Well, we provide a model where you can select the old sales employee, the new one, and with the search button, you will see inside Business One all the open documents and all the customers assigned to this sales employee. You just need to mark them, click on the button Update, and without the need of any kind of template or interface or importing, you're going to update easily information inside SAP Business One. You can also update information of master data such as business partners, items groups, even the accounting. And you can also update documents, marketing documents. You can close in a massive way documents or cancel them, for example, the old quotations, and you can also modify activities or production orders. We also have an authorization manager and a form setting manager. This will let you copy authorizations and form settings information between users in the same database or between different companies. You can export the information and import in the target database. They don't have to be in the same server. This is all handled by documents in XML format. We also have an exchange rate model. Automatically selecting a system or a service, you can select the correct bank and the exchange rates of all your currencies will be updated automatically. And you can create this or set up this as a service, so you don't need to execute this process or wait until the users arrive to the company. You can set up this information to be filled out automatically, let's say at 3 a.m. in the morning, so whenever the first user arrives, the information is already there in the system. And one of the latest models we added this year is the dashboard model. We already created 7 predefined dashboards that are installed when you activate this model. This is only available for customers that has the 2017 maintenance and up. When you activate this model, we already have 5 predefined dashboards activated. These dashboards can be customized to certain users. For example, only the administrative manager, only the CTO, only the CFO will be able to see this sales overview, not all the sales employees, because this graphic maybe includes the gross profit. As you can see, you have some graphics, you have KPIs, you can compare information from previous dates for previous months or years. You can see all the open item list. You also have your dashboard for the purchase documents, finance, service, and also production. And hidden, but you can activate them only, we also have dashboards for the opportunity models in SAP Business One and human resources. You can also create your custom dashboards with your own reports with your own grids, with your own information, with your own filters. Just take a simple query you have in your query manager, use the dashboard editor, and you can create this kind of dashboard in less than 10 minutes. We have different videos explaining how it works. And remember, B1 usability package can be downloaded for 20 days for free. You can just input your customer's information, select your default business partner as a partner, and then you can install the product and test it in your own demo database. You can create your own customization. You can see how easy it is to learn B1 usability package. We have more than 100 videos on YouTube. We have an e-learning platform. You can also become a partner, or you can sign up for the partner program.